it primarily number one against the pound. So the first one we're going to do today is the pound dollar. And if you look at this is the weekly chart for the pound dollar, and these numbers are way old. I mean, this were from the beginning of, this is one of my old charts, and that was the rule. If it gets below 166.20, we're going to go short, and this is where the trade was taken, below 166.62. And you see it took us all the way down to 138, 120, and that is what you're looking for. So right here we have a structural point at the 159.80. You see that? This is a structural point, 159.80, and we have traded this week right above the structural point. We traded above the 159.80 only to turn around. There was no follow through to the upside, and to come back and close below the 159. We actually closed at 159.89, so just 10 pips above the reference point. And in the foreign exchange market, 10 pips like that is not a big deal. This is a pretty weak it is a sell signal, and we should be looking at selling the pound dollar. So if I'm going to look at the daily chart, again, this is my 59.80, and you want to put that on your charts. You want to put a horizontal line at the chart so that you can see what's going on, and you'll be able to identify what's happening right here, because if you don't put these lines, you won't be able to remember what to do. So right now I have on this daily chart, I have a sell signal. I know I have a structural point of 159.80. This thing closed the week at 159.89. So I have a no-brainer trade. That is one of the easiest trades, and the reason we find that easy trade is by we looked at the strength and weakness, and we were able to identify this pair. So on the intraday, this is your 159.80. See that? And you can see how the market respects it all the way through. It comes to the 159.80 and it stops. It comes back. This is what it does at a structural point. So what would be the trade plan right now? The trade plan is going to be easy. We are going to, if it gets and trades below 159.80, we are going to sell it. So we're going to come here and do our trade plan in the pound. So we are going to, the short point where we're going to sell it is 159.80, and the structural short, because it's a trend changing point, is the 159.80. It is one and the same. So if it trades below the 159.80, it's a very strong point, and I should be looking for quite some follow through to the downside. And if I said to you that the 159.80 is a structural point or a trend changing point, so if we go short below the 159.80, where should we put our protective stop? Exactly, you're going to put your protective stop above the 159.80. Technically, we're going to put it one in the same, but you just give it like 10-15 pips just to, for the fluctuations of the currency. But if it goes below 159.80, because it is the 159.80 is a structural point, you do not want it to come back above the 159.80. Okay, so my short point is 159.80, my structural short is 159.80, and my short stop is 159.80. So where will we buy it? Okay, we have to look now at a buying point, and if I look at this intraday pattern, I can see that my prior momentum high is the 160.66, and I see this sitting right here, and my short is pretty much right there. So I'm not going to buy it unless it gets, which is about 50 pips or so. So I'm going to wait because that's the volatility. So I'm going to buy it above 160.06. That's going to be my buying point. 60.66, and my structural long, I'm going to look for it in a minute, which in this case I know it from the chart is the 166.62, the structural long. It is now above the 159.80 technically, so okay, and if it goes and it trades above the 166, I need to give it some room. So I'm going to place my stop right below. It's a tough one, this one. I can place my stop around the 160 level here because there's a technical reason for that. So my stop is going to be 160.041. So my long stop is going to be 160.41. Okay, so to sum up the pound dollar, I'm going to go long above 160.66. And if I do, I'm going to place my stop below 160.41, so I'm giving it like 60 pips stop. My structure long is 166, is 600 pips higher. And my structural short is the 159.80. And so I'm going to buy it above 160.66. And I'm going to place my stop below 160.40. And my structure long is the 166. Warren, I think it's on your end because everybody is hearing me well. Okay.